You got the mute button on.
There we go. Coach, could you just comment on the emergence of Morales and Franklin as red zone options later in the season? Seems like I've been seeing them catching a lot of balls down there in that end of the field.
Yeah, they've made a couple plays down there. Every game, we put an emphasis on really trying to get those guys a couple more balls than we have early on in the year, like as the year's gone on, and they're trustworthy guys for sure. You know, whether those plays get called or not, or some plays get called and killed based on looks, so they come up more often than others. But they're always definitely targets and options when we get down there.
Just a quick follow. How are they effective as blockers for your running backs?
Very effective. Both savvy football players, and we put a lot on their plate of specific blocks they have to execute and adjustments that they have to make within those schemes based on different looks. Those guys have been very reliable for us all year.
We'll take the next question from Trevor Haas.
How's it going, Mel?
Hey, Trevor, how you doing?
Pretty good, thanks. Can you just speak to A, Grayson's growth and development throughout the season, and then B, just what's clicked offensively for the past 3, 4 games for you guys?
Um, he takes a very steady and consistent approach day by day and has ever since he's been here. Um, Obviously, the more reps you get, the more uh, consistent you become in your play on the field, and the better things go, and you feel more comfortable with the guys you're around and operating with. He's certainly made strides in really all aspects, and we'd like to continue to see that. Um, and then as far as what's clicking, um, guys are making plays and guys are stepping up in whatever position it may be, whether it's a receiver or tight end or offensive line doing some good things for us. It's a matter of everyone doing their job. And um, I don't want to say that it's clicked more than it has before. Some guys have made some plays. We've had some explosive plays that's helped us score some points. But yeah, just to speak on Grayson's done a nice job.
Take the next one from Sarah Gokon from the Heights.
Hey, well, an extremely deep running back room this year from obviously guys like Kai to um, newcomers like Jordan McDonald. First of all, how is that running back depth sort of helped out in the passing game? And and second of all, from a game-to-game basis, how do you sort of decide how you want to allocate the carries? Is it kind of like a ride the hot hand kind of thing, or
Yeah. So to answer you, as far as the running back depth, those guys have done a great job all year. They all have a little bit different skill set. And certainly, Jordan coming on late in the year has added some depth in that room with he's made some plays when he's got some opportunities with some carries. Um, as far as during the game, riding the hot hand, like that's part of it. Some guys, when things are going well, we will continue to feed them and get them the ball. And certainly, if you got a good run game, it's always going to help your passing game. Everything we do here revolves around the running game, and if we were able to run the football, play action pass is good, movements are good, screens are good, and it puts us in situations on third down potentially that we're on track, and that's important for us when we're trying to drive the football.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take the next one from Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. First question I have is I think you were a GA at Penn State in 2013 when John Butler was the offensive coordinator. What do you remember about him and how much are you looking forward to just sort of matching wits with him on a couple Saturdays from now?
Yeah, no, I was a GA on defense, and Coach Butler, John was the D coordinator. Um, Learned a lot from him. Had a chance to be with him there, and then also he was in Houston with us for a couple years. John's a great coach and does a great job. He did a great job at Penn State and in Houston with those guys, and um, looking forward to it. Like always, looking forward to competition and getting our guys out there and getting our guys prepared and ready to go. Um, but yeah, that's to answer your question.
I did also want to have a follow-up on Grayson. So, I mean, you guys have to make a decision, you and Coach O'Brien, about who's going to be the starter after that Syracuse game to make your decision. Did you guys think that Thomas was just going to leave? And when that moment happened, and you have to kind of go to the offense and the team. You got to talk to them about it. What was kind of going through you in that moment, trying to figure out, okay, how do I manage this moment when this guy that started here for 2.5 seasons just walked out and we're anointing this other guy?
Really just to answer your question is like, instead of just talking about that specific scenario, really talking, because the way we handle that scenario is the way we handle really any scenario is, you got to stick and move. And when you're in a football game and the teams are giving you some stuff on defense that you're not prepared for, like you've got to be able to stick and move and adjust. And you can't get flustered and worried or and get all like, oh, I don't know how to react. Like you've got to be able to calm yourself and come up with a solution. As coaches, we try to problem solve and manage things as best as possible and teach. And so, just that's scenario is whether it's that or anything that comes up is it's whether it's a next man up mentality or making things work, whatever the hand you've been dealt with, putting people in the best position to succeed, like all those things come into play. And certainly in that scenario that happens.
Have you ever experienced that situation before in your coaching career where something like that happened?
Probably not the exact same. I've certainly been around some things where it's not ideal as far as being able to handle things, and you get caught off guard a little bit. But whatever those scenarios may be and situations, when those things have come up in whatever nature, you get kind of used to emotionally and mentally dealing with it and being able to move along.
We'll take the next one from Dan Rubin at bceagles.com.
Well, you go back a long way, a decade or so with Bill O'Brien specifically. Just what has he kind of taught you and helped you along with the game of football, coaching with him? What's kind of made you want to stick with him? And then when you guys come to BC, it's obviously closer to spring ball than it was to the end of the season last year. So how did that relationship help you lay down what you wanted to do offensively, just in terms of concepts and scheme?
Been with Coach for a long time, like you spoke on, and really for multiple reasons. One, I was learning a ton of football from Coach, and in all areas, not just offense. I mean, I was on defense on his staffs for 4 years before I was on offense. But I'd say the main reason I like working with and for Coach O'Brien is he believes in the same things I believe in. My dad was a football coach, and when growing up, physicality, discipline, toughness, like all those things, hard coaching, like tough love. That's how my dad coached guys. The players that my dad coached loved him. I had a chance to be around as a kid, and the guys that coached me when I was a player, the ones that coached me like that, I appreciated the most. And that's the kind of Coach O'Brien is, and what he believes in, I believe in. So, that's really the driving force why I've enjoyed coaching for him for as long as I have. And then, what was the other part of your question, Dan? He can't mute. You're muted. I don't know if they can let you back in.
Here we go.
There we go. Thanks. Sorry about that. No, it's just how did that prior relationship being able to come to
Oh,
be
yeah. Sorry.
you kind of lay that offense down when you guys came in so late?
Yeah, just being on the same page, and I'll also speak, I was the new one, the new coach on offense. A lot of the other guys on offense here that are on our staff, they were here before. And so there's some things that they were doing that I wanted to learn as well. And always learning. The offense we've been part of, at least say we, but when I've been around Coach O'Brien, it's evolved every year, whether it was when he was at the Patriots to Penn State, and then Houston, and to Bama, and then to the Patriots back again, and then here. It's ever evolving. Everything we try to do is we try to put the best personnel we have on the field as much as possible and utilize them and get them in the best position to like really showcase their skill set, put them in the best position to succeed, whether it's formations, motions, plays, all that stuff. And but really being on the same page. I think that's number one, being like, getting here when we did.
Trevor Haas from Boston College, you have the next question.
I think it's no secret you guys want to run the ball a lot, but at the same time, obviously the passing game is a critical part of football. Just can you describe the evolution of that, how you kind of mix in the passing game and what the next step is to take to the next level next year and beyond?
Yeah, so just the running the football is critical, and we try to do as much as we can, pairing up formations and motions and making things look the same. So, if we're running the ball well out of this formation, like every game we go into it like that. If we're gonna have runs out of this formation and motion, we try to have a play action or some sort of pass on normal downs from the same formation and motion to give the defense a similar picture and do something different. I think that's important. And then we try not to do too much. It's more about having core plays that you believe in and that the quarterback's comfortable with, and then just dressing them up different ways so the defense sees it a different way, but your reads are similar, and you're trying to get guys in certain spots to do things they're comfortable doing. Just with time and repetition, we'll have improvements there.
We'll take the next one from Sarab Gokarn from the Heights.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is your first season calling plays at the Division I level. Looking back this regular season, both through the ups and the downs, what are some of the things that you learned that you'll carry with you both looking to the bowl game and next season and beyond?
I've learned a ton. I've learned a ton. Calling plays is whether being in a coordinator role, and it's just a different job description, and some of the duties you're asked to do throughout the week are just a little different than what it is when you're an assistant, a position coach. But just some of the things as the season's gone along in preparation. Maybe a scenario comes up in a game and you're like, dude, I wish I was a little more prepared for that. And then so you do the very next week, you have an answer for something that could come up. And that's really, it's just you build off your experiences. And so things that happen in games, whether good or bad, I try to, put my memory and better myself as a play caller. So if those scenarios come up, I got a better answer. And can react faster. And but it's like anything else, that's why experience is so important. I think, I personally as a coach, I'm 39, but so I'm still young, and I learn all the time. And the more experience I've had and being around some of these great coaches I've had a chance to be around, I learn from them all the time. And so then the experience I have as a play caller just helped me along the way to build on.
Are there any other questions for offensive coordinator Will Lawing? Again, please use the raise hand function. Going once, going twice. Coach Lawing, thank you very much. Really appreciate the time today.
All right. Thank you, guys.